Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back and still ignorant. All right, let's just call it what it is. If Kanye could do it, I could do it. So if he could do a whole interview and podcast with it on, so am I. And it's already hot. So hold on, I'm cheating a little bit. I gotta cheat a little bit just so you can hear me. All right. I know it's been a minute. I had a couple people ask, hey man, y'all done doing the show? Which made me feel good because that let me know people been listening. We back, man. It's been a little hiatus. Work been tripping. It's inflation. They still digging into Trump emails and January 6th stuff still going on. Listen, we back. We here to soothe your spirit with ignorance, all right? We here to give you the daily influctuation of ignorance that you've been missing in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, it is What's Good America. I am that five-time cruiserweight champion himself, the pseudo-sexual, the mahogany god himself, C. Turner. All right, let that soak in. Let that fill in your spirit for a second. All right, it's in there. And ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to bestow upon you a good friend, dare I say, a family member of mine. All right, a man amongst men, your favorite receiver, your cornerback's worst nightmare, Mr. Six, Mr. Saturday Night. He is the Bay. He is south side of Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, it is James Big Game Madison Walton, not the first, not the second, but the third. What's going on, Big Om?
Hey, what's good, America? Listen, very, very much as this echo dies down. I'm gonna be honest with you right now. Uh, the reason why we ain't been on the air has been me. Let's just call a spade a spade. Your boy Chris Turner has been just reaching out. He's been like, "Hey, we need to go," and I'm like, "Hey, I see the news, but I'll be 100 with y'all. The kid ain't even here yet, man. I'm over here crazy daddy. I don't look here, man. Let's just get into it, man. I'm just excited. I miss you, man. And America, those that will see the replay in the video, I I can't even describe what Chris Turner has on right now. Like it's a mix of he's in a playoff game right now in Green Bay slash I don't know where the World Cup is in, but it's in Qatar, so it might have something to do with that slash they need a new spokesperson for Kanye stuff. So I can't figure it out, America, but we got a lot of foolishness going on. So he called me. He had an agenda, Chris. I'm ready to roll, man. What the hell is not going on in America? They need the
All
truth.
right, man. So listen, we just gonna break it down, and we're gonna do our PTI homage because both of us love everything about PTI because they do everything sports related the right way. There's no agenda to it. So this is our homage to PTI and give us a chance to talk about everything that we feel is important for the most part because there's so much going on right now.
Thanks.
But what we feel is important that we need to go over. And topic number one, the college football playoffs. I'm gonna go
America,
first and just get it out the
hey,
way.
and I'm gonna lead him into this. This is probably the other reason why it's taking us a while to do this show. Because if we're gonna be real about it, really real, it's amazing how much I've matured personally. Because Chris Turner has yet to answer for anything that has happened in college football this year. But the floor is yours, CT.
All right, man. So here it is: Georgia, Michigan, TCU, Ohio State. All four teams are well deserved to be in the college football playoffs. Alabama should not be into the college football playoffs. They got two losses. Everybody else either is undefeated or they have one loss. Whether they won a conference championship or not, the record is what the record is. All right. Alabama's not in it, so Alabama's not even going to be a topic of discussion. But at the same time, just to make sure that they are a topic of discussion, because we travel well and we bring the money, it's real funny how Alabama don't make the playoffs and then, oh shit, 12 team playoff. That's happening. That's happening. California, the Rose Bowl said they're gonna do it. We good. It's real funny how that shit happened. Anyway, college football playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just go ahead and get the shocker out the way. Don't be surprised if TCU win the whole damn thing. Don't be. Because Georgia will get through with Ohio State because one of their best receivers isn't playing. Marvin Harrison Jr., who is, I didn't realize how good he was because I don't really pay attention to Big Ten football. And that's my bias, but it is what it is a god amongst men, but at the same time, he can't do it all by himself. And there's a lot of Ohio State guys that are sitting out this playoff game, which if you come in limping against a Georgia team that is fighting destiny, which honestly, yes, they have a national championship, but at the same time, they're still trying to get out of Alabama's shadow. When you're fighting against an invisible ghost, they're going to run through Ohio State. But then you have a TCU team who, honestly, let's call a spade a spade. Nobody really respects. They don't expect them to do anything. They feel as though like they're the Cincinnati this year, and they expect Michigan to run through them. And I don't know, like something about this TCU team, like they're ignorantly good. Like they don't know that they're supposed to lose. They don't know that they're supposed to be sacrificed to Michigan. They don't know that they shouldn't be here, and that's a dangerous team to go against.
Well, I love your perspective on this. And let me give an honest perspective, America, because like I've always said, this show is we're going to tell the truth. I have watched 2 full college football games all season. There's a couple of reasons for that. One, Northwestern was never a factor. Let's go ahead and get that out the way. I'm not even talking like getting a bowl game. They are, like I said, no words. We got no words for it. Back-to-back years, we have been a shit tag. So that's one reason. I would say the other reason why is plain and simple. This is kind of a credit to you, Chris Turner, and your Tuscaloosa family. It's been boring. And by what I mean boring, it's been boring to be right for the last couple of years. I told you what was coming. So, America, I don't know if this is going to be an ode to Tony Kornheiser and Wilbon the way Chris Turner thought. I think this is going to be one of us saying "I told you so" tour through all these topics because I feel like everything that has happened in pop culture and sports has been discussed on this show in the last few years. And the fact that I am still broke and I have to reiterate myself again is really kind of pissing me off. We're not even to give me a minute, and I'm already needing about an hour. Here's how I feel about what's happening. Georgia has figured out a loophole. It is called the SEC. And until teams like Tennessee can consistently do it for an entire year, it seems like they've gotten some players there. Got to thank Peyton Manning for that. He's got everything to do with that. Because we're going to touch on all this while this is happening. Florida's still trying to figure it out. I think they've got Coach Napier's a good coach, but they got to tap a little bit more into those resources. It's going to be Georgia until Georgia's representing the East. I mean, they've been representing the East for the last, 5-6 years straight?
Yeah.
Quiet as kept. It has been Georgia and then whoever wins the West because the West has been flip-floppy the past few years. So Michigan, it's time to anybody, and I want to shout out Mike Bazemore, who's been waiting for us to get on the air, because I know he's in that room. Shout out to you, Baze. And I know it's painful to him that Jim Harbaugh has figured it out, but Jim Harbaugh's figured it out. And I'm going to be honest, we're getting Georgia and we're getting Michigan. TCU, I think, is a team of destiny that it's done well for the Big 12 to have a representative. It's good for that conference to still have a face. They did their job, and they got there. And Ohio State, I mean, unless Jim Trustle's walking through the door, they're not beating nobody when it matters. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, Maurice Clarett is not running the ball this game, so I don't really give much of a hope to Ohio State against a fully healthy, fully motivated Georgia team. And nobody on that Georgia team is sitting out, which is, mind you, Georgia's been underperforming this entire year, and they're still undefeated, which should be a terrifying thing to Ohio State.
I mean, if we want to be honest about it, if you want to be real about it in the old school way.
Can I be real?
I mean, can I be
Can I be
real?
real, son?
Hey, motherfucker tried to kill my father, man.
Say words, son.
The motherfucker tried to kill my father. But I'm gonna be real. If you want to be 100, you might as well just get a Heisman to Stetson Bennett. If you want to be real about it, if you want to be real about it, and that's going to be a controversial take, but I have seen people on undefeated teams beat a lesser player and win Heisman. So you got to choose between Caleb Williams, who I believe is going to win it. And like I said, I didn't see anything but him be a bad beat because he lost a lot of people rushing yards. I was watching the bad
Yeah.
beats. Scott Van Pelt, who was just a treasure to all the sports. That was hilarious to watch how that happened. And then who else they got? I mean, obviously Stetson Bennett.
So it's Stetson, it's Caleb Williams, it's
Yeah,
CJ Stroud,
and
and
he didn't do enough. As much I love CJ's game, but it just ain't gonna be enough. Especially if you don't have my man, uh, my man, the receiver Smith, who's the best of all.
yeah,
He not playing. He like, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for this draft. Um, and then the other quarterback, who is it? I missed as a fourth quarterback. Is the kid from
I can't
TCU?
think. It might be him, honestly.
So that's just me being real. That's how much college football I've watched. I'm smart enough to know that Georgia is really good. I have watched Georgia play defensively, and that defense doesn't want to be known as, well, we couldn't get it done because all them guys left. Them guys have been getting it done all year. So, spoiler alert: Georgia's going to be back-to-back champions, and it's absolutely. I think it's good for college football
Yeah,
because what Georgia has done, essentially to me, is they've become kind of the poster child of what I would call the post Nick Saban era, which we have been in, which started when LSU beat the brakes off. The national title game that they won, starting to look a little asterisk-y more and more. It's starting to look a little bit more asterisk-y. I'm not
on to
going to
our next
go. I'm
topic, which
just
is the transfer portal. Once again,
you
this
cut
is
that off
another.
quick, America.
It was supposed to be an ode to PTI. You damn right, I cut that off. It's supposed to be an ode to PTI, but this is turning quickly into. Walt, you may have been right. And Baze, you have permission to speak at any time, big dog. So whenever you feel like chiming in, you definitely can. Um, the transfer portal, there are 1,100 kids in the
Dude,
trans.
I saw that Facebook post of all the pictures, and I had to stop at like 150. I was like, man, this is crazy.
There's 1,100 student athletes in in the transfer. Just so you can see how monumental that number is. Well, there is 126 Division I football programs, and
Yeah,
there's almost 10 times that many kids in the transfer portal.
yeah, you could literally change your entire program based on the transfer portal. It's incredible. Hey, real talk though, Bays. If you figure out how to unmute, I want to kind of
I think I
post
unmuted
this.
him.
Yeah, I want to kind of pose this to both you guys here. Um, I'm going to start with you, Chris Turner, because you are the one of us that did have multiple schools. Um, how fun would this portal have been for you? And would you have been the guy that honestly may have just been the guy that just was, hey, and this is a combined conversation with the NIL deal too. Would you have been a guy that just was an assassin for hire? You might have been the first
Yeah,
of your kind. Is that kind of how you would have treated the portal?
yeah. I honestly, I would have treated it just like that. Like you go where the money is. Like you go where you need it for a year or two, and that's the thing about it. You only have to do it twice. Now, granted, I feel like with there being so many kids, there's going to be some rules to get added to the transfer portal. Like, hey, you can only do it once or whatever, or you got to transfer down. But there's going to have to be some rules added to this. Me personally, yeah, I would have been an assassin. I would have gladly have been an assassin for it because, all right, well, I got 9, 10 wins at Florida State. I only got a little bit of playing time. All right, let's go to Alabama. Oh, I got a natty out of this one. Cool. All right. let me transfer to Arizona State so I can just start. I don't really give a damn about wins anymore. Now I'm just worried about tape.
Yeah. What about you, Bays? Like, just kind of thinking about everything you're seeing, and obviously, it's having an impact on you daily. How do you kind of feel about everything?
It's going to work itself out. And it seems more volatile than what it really is. A lot of students get left in the wind. They don't find a school to go to. Now,
Yep.
what I have dabbled in the portal, when we lost our coach at Michigan State, I probably would have, but at the time I wasn't playing that much, so I don't know what the response would have been for me. I probably would have transferred to a school closer to home. But yeah, I definitely would have put my hat in the ring.
Exactly. Exactly. What about you, Walt?
Well, and I think that's the beauty of it. Now, here's a guy now, and I think this is where Bays kind of comes in too, with being in the Division II world. I 100%, and I love my friends to death. And I've talked to about, I've told this story off air enough times, but hey, if you ain't first, you last, right? I got the shirt on. I seriously considered leaving Truman State after my redshirt freshman year. Because Central Michigan, I'm sorry, not Central Michigan, but Central Missouri State within the conference had this history of, receivers having an opportunity to get to the NFL and the CFL. Like guys were coming out of there and they wanted me to play there. And then on top of the fact that I was All-American long jumper already, like on accident, like that All-American shit my freshman year was an accident. Like I didn't figure out the skill till later. So I already had that going. And that's one of the premier track schools in the country. And Bays knows that from his time when he was assistant AD at Truman State. So I 100% would have absolutely, like, what stopped me was I was going to lose a year of playing. That's literally all that stopped me. Is like if I was going to sit for a year and like what was that going to do for me? Like I would have had track to fall on, but I would have absolutely jumped at a chance. And maybe even for me, that might have been my chance to go D1 with the long jump All-American. And maybe maybe a small D1 would have been like, hey, come on. At that point, like you said, there's 1,100 people on the portal, right?
Yep.
I'd have been 1101, maybe just trying to get over there to Central Michigan. That's funny how I said Central Michigan, thinking about Central Missouri. Whatever would have took. I would have Liberty, exactly. Florida International, like whoever would have been like, hey, yo, we saw the film, like you could be something.
Yeah, we'll take you.
So yeah, I love it, man. And I saw Dre jumped on, man. Dre, I wanted to get your opinion on that too. What about you, man? Like, would you have been all up in that portal kind of the way that the three of us have kind of all said, like, yeah, Chris, we know would have been school to school, but what about you, man?
I respect it, bro. Like I respect it because the transfer portal done in the right way could really work for the athlete himself, and it would. I'm not gonna say screw over the college, but at the same time, it benefits everybody. All right, you get a guy you recruited 3 years ago, but now you got him 3 years older, and he knows how to play college football. So, Baze is right. This thing is gonna work itself out to the point where, all right, realize how risky this is throwing your name into this hat because there's some schools, Alabama's one of them. They made an exception on one kid, but Alabama's one of those schools where if your name gets thrown in, your locker gets cleared out. So you got to realize the risk with all this.
But and I know it's a good transition to where we're going to go with this, but that's again where I'm going to try to shit on you every time. And I told you this. I know Baze is smiling when I'm saying this, and I know Dre is definitely smiling when I say this. I told you what he did 3 years ago when he was saying that bullshit. This is the penalty he's paying because these kids are starting to realize how empowered they are. This was before the NIL happened officially. And he said that shit about old boy that went to Jacksonville and shitted on him making a decision that was best for him and his family. And he tried to clown it. And he went to social media where all these kids are looking like, oh, so this is how Nick Saban really is. And that was the year that LSU had beat him to win the title that year. They're looking at him like, what happened to, that's why Coach Cal, in college basketball can still get kids to go there. They've seen his 90 minutes behind the scene. He's the guy that pulled Jamal Murray aside and said, yeah, you're done.
You got to leave. You
got to go. Where he tells other kids, nah, you might want to stay. Yeah, you're not ready. Here's the guy that invented the one and done. So that's what Nick Saban is like. And I've seen other announcers say that. And I appreciate they've done that, on TV and made more money than me and Chris. But I have been saying that shit since he said, once I read that comment, I think we did a show that day because I was like, what is your boy doing, Chris? He is sabotaging you. Because how many Alabama names?
I had no defense for it then.
How many Alabama names are in that portal? Like, to me, if
5.
it's 11?
No, it's 5. It's 5. 6 of them pulled back. It's 5.
So 11 went in. That, to me, five is one thing, 5, that's where your Alvin Kamara's come from, that are diamonds in the rough that like, hey, it has nothing to do with you, Coach Saban. Like, I just know I'm not going to get an opportunity to make my money.
It's a numbers game.
But when you're talking 11, that's 6 too many to me. And that, to me, lets me know you're starting to lose. So go ahead and transition where we all want to get and talk about. This might stop
must be the money that's
this might stop
turning
the show.
you on. Might be the money. Must be the money.
This might stop the show.
Listen, Deion Sanders has left Jackson State University and has decided to take his talents to the Mountain West and go to the University of Colorado.
Hey, don't do them like that. What's the Pac-12? Why are you doing it?
I'm saying they're in the Mountain West. Like the region of the country.
Why are you doing it? Why are you doing Colorado?
Are they not in the Mountain West region of the country?
They are, but what conference are they in? That's a Power 5 school, man. Like, seriously.
The Pac-12's
I'm so
Colorado.
I'm so glad I didn't brag on Northwestern at all. You'd have had us in the MAC.
Oh, Deion Sanders has to, I'm not dealing with you right now.
Hey, Bays, this dude would have had me in the Missouri Valley Conference, man. I'm glad Northwestern.
I am simply pointing out what region of the country Colorado is in. That's all I'm doing. It wasn't even a dig. Like, they're in the Mountain West region of the country.
Bays, you hear this dude? Did you hear this dude, Bays? This dude is the worst, man.
I'm not.
It was man. Hey,
it wasn't a shot.
I'm telling you.
we can all attest. Colorado has not been good since Rashawn Salam, Cordell Stewart.
Well,
they just haven't. Like, that is a very honest assessment.
I would disagree with that.
Teams here and there, but they just haven't been good. And so I'll let you all intro and kick off your thoughts, and I'll give my 2 cents of how I feel about the situation.
Yeah, and I'm gonna annex what Bays said, because Bays is actually wrong on that, because it was a former Northwestern coach where they had that good run, the late '90s, early 2000s. Coach Gary Barnett, who, of course, we were going to lose at Northwestern. He's like, well, I can go to the Big 12 and do that. Remember Big Chris Brown in the late '90s? He used to play for Tennessee.
I remember.
They had a nice little run there too. So let's not do that. Let's not do that. Yeah, they were in the 12 back then, Bays. Yeah. So that's all I'm saying. We just can't. I don't want to shit on them early 2000 years, because that's a shit. some of us, like yours truly was like, I wouldn't have minded a letter from Colorado. That would have been sweet. Y'all, you two top 100 in your class, especially you and mine, Bays. Like I get it. You like Colorado now, bitch. I'm cool. I'm gonna stay.
Nah.
I'm gonna stay right here in my pocket. But go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
So Deion Sanders is now the head coach of Colorado University, University of Colorado. I don't know the particular order of it, but he's now coaching the Buffaloes of Colorado, the Buffs. Uh, here's the thing: I've been reading a bunch of stuff, and like it seems like the more the day goes, the more information comes out. So it started out that he was going to be there, but then he wasn't getting this, that, and the third. Okay, then he accepted a deal, but then he backed out on the Jackson State deal. Then more information came out where the upkeep and the building up of that community and that school, the athletic program, was pretty much was not pocketed, but came out of Deion's pocket, which I believe that more than anything else because you got Shedeur Sanders, who was a Power 5 recruit. You have the other son. What was the other son's name?
Shiloh.
Shiloh Sanders, who was at South Carolina and I believe in South Carolina.
Yeah.
So Power 5 school. You have the number 1 recruit in the country
Travis Hunter,
who was going to Florida State University. There, so that's more money to get brought in. You have Deion's daughter, who was a Power 5 recruit in basketball, playing for the women's program at that school. So for it to come out that the upkeep, the food, everything for the athletic department was done by Deion's pocket, I believe that. And as I'm not even gonna say a man, I'm not even gonna say a black man, as a person who believes in the almighty dollar, you're only gonna take so much out of my pocket before I go find somebody who's gonna put something in. I don't blame him. How long did you expect this man to be there? Like, you gotta call a spade a spade. It's a stepping stool, and a SWAC HBCU football shouldn't be that way. But as of right now, it is, and he brought more attention to the HBCUs than. And I mean this is not as a dig, and please, none of y'all three take this as a dig. Doug Williams never brought this much attention to the SWAC.
Not a dig, it's a fact. That's what this show deals in. It deals in
Who
facts.
is the Grambling coach, one of the greatest coaches of all time?
Coach Eddie Robinson.
Eddie Robinson.
I got you covered.
Eddie Robinson, one of the a top 5 coach of all time, Power 5, black schools, whatever, never brought this much attention to HBCU football. When you think of HBCU football before Deion came, only thing you thought about was a goddamn band, and that's it. So to get the Alabama A&M coach a little bit of notoriety saying that Deion ain't SWAC, yeah, but he beat the shit out of you. It is what it is.
Hey, Chris.
Like,
hey, Chris. Tell him what's the title? What's the title of my name on this one?
You're right.
Words.
Right.
It took all the words right.
The man is right. Like, and I'm gonna finish this, and then I'm gonna give it away because I don't want to kill too much time. I want everybody to get a chance. I'm gonna play conspiracy theory, and I'm gonna put my aluminum foil, tinfoil hat on real quick. I find it mighty funny that Deion took the amount of time that he's taking at Colorado, and his contract ends the same year that Nick Saban's contract ends at Alabama.
Oh, if you don't think.
And then all them goddamn commercials together.
If you don't think.
So I guarantee you a conversation has been had.
If you don't think. Nick Saban, you know what?
I hope it ain't about a record deal. Listen.
Mike Baysworth, go ahead, chime in.
Of what? A conversation about what has been
had. I feel, and this is the tinfoil hat popping on, I feel the boosters would not have allowed Deion to take over because I'm just going to call a spade again. Listen, man, we don't want that boy coaching up here. Like, he's only coached black teams. But if he can go and do something at Colorado, maybe when that contract ends for Nick, contract gets slid over to Dion. What you say, Bass?
Oh man, you really want me to unpack this? We really gonna have a conversation, an in-house conversation.
And we'll dig more into this on the Dion show. But give me a little bit of what you're thinking.
Okay. Here's what I think. Colorado is so bad. And they've been bad for quite some time. Yes, I forgot about the time where they had a little stint, had a solid, several couple years. But Dion recruited off the premise that he was selling something more than it just was football. So that's kind of where I'm confused. When I saw the news, when they had like the rumors, I'm like, nah, I'm in Colorado. That don't even sound right. Like Dion, right. Colorado, like he ain't never played in no cold weather state. Like outside of Baltimore, right? Baltimore, maybe DC for a year, but he's largely been in warm weather climates, and that doesn't mean anything. But I'm talking about his I guess lifestyle as a player and coach, broadcaster, and what have you. Now, I'm just slightly deflated, to be honest, because he sold a dream that we are good enough to go to this type of university, and he actually changed the mindset of top recruits, not for football but for basketball. So after it wasn't now, when did he get officially hired? It was 3 seasons, but was it 3 full years? And so how long was I hoping he stayed? I at least was going to, I wanted him to stay at least for one graduating class. That means you brought in a freshman and you saw him through, or you brought in that freshman class and saw them through graduation. I would have loved to see that and say I gave them a full recruiting term to show you how it could be done. And I did these battles behind the scenes. Now it's time for me to move on. But if you make it more than football, then it is confusing to leave before seemingly that is done. But if it's strictly about football, then keep it football. And that's kind of where I'm confused and slightly deflated, because, like you said, he has brought more attention to HBCUs, but it was going to take somebody of that ilk, of that charisma and character, personality-wise, to do that. That's why we were so excited about the idea of that. But in the end, he showed that he had other plans personally. I'm rooting for him. Obviously, black coach, black man in the industry. But I am deflated because he could have did something great at Jackson State.
Now, Bays, I agree with you 1,000%. And before I hand it off to whoever wants to grab it, and I'm gonna send you some of the information I've been reading, and none of it's from all of it seems to be from reputable sources. Like, it seems as though almost like he was being pushed out. Well, it seemed more so that he was not being able to take the spotlight that he so justly deserved for what he was doing. It seemed as though the president of that university, and you can even see the interaction between him and the president and his wife during that game against Southern, the championship game against Southern. The president, and all this is me just reading probably too much into it, and me reading all the little stuff that's been coming out. It seems as though, which I get it, it's a institution of higher learning, not a football powerhouse that people go to school at. But it seems as though that president, that dean of whatever, those admissions people wanted all the credit, and like, hey, all right, well, yeah, Dion's a part of what we do here, not the fact that Dion brought the camera crews, the lights, the celebrities, the parties, the fun, the money. And the program wasn't getting any of that money kicked back to them. Hell, Dion wasn't even getting paid back for the shit that he was doing for the program. Now you can say the man's a millionaire, he don't need the money. Nah, everybody, I want my money back. Like I don't give a damn. I could be a billionaire. If I loan you $10, I want my $10 back. And he wasn't getting the restitution, he wasn't getting the money back from what he put in. Like I get it. Like I get it.
Dre, I'm gonna let you go. And I'm gonna tell you why, because I just haven't decided if I should even speak on this, because it's damn near another gimme minute for me. So you go ahead.
Oh, it's gonna be a Dion show. There's gonna be a Dion show.
That's why I don't even want to speak on it. This shit's bigger
and that's
than
cool.
just Deion Sanders to me.
I agree. All right, well, Dre, can you finish it off? I agree.
All right.
You ain't got to say that if you don't want to.
Listen, I think everybody here is hitting good points. Okay. And that's the thing. But I think what I'm going to say is, and what I think is going to really lead everybody, because I've had the beauty of, like everybody else has, to see and react to everything. We all have friends all over the place and family all over the place that have had something to say. And to me, that is the epitome of the damn problem. This right here is exactly what I look at within this community. And I'm talking about the four of us on here and all of our families. You look into how this has been looked at and said and spoken into all the sports media world. This is exactly the problem right now. And if you can't get to what I'm saying, because I don't want to get into it, because I know we're going to do a whole show on it. I know the four of you, we all know each other very well enough to understand what the fuck I'm saying, and I'm going to what the fuck. This is exactly the fucking problem. If I've dropped as many F-bombs in this is my issue right now. And I just laugh and I wonder why people's thinking, why? And this is still and whatever. And it's like, what's the prime damn example of why? Is everybody listening to themselves through this whole process? Like, it's all rhetorical for me because I just giggle. And I'm the only one here on this show without a degree. I'm the dumbest one. But yet I can figure out exactly what the hell is wrong with society within this whole Deion Sanders thing, especially the society that matters to me. And I'm getting ready to bring life into this world. I get it. My third eye has been wide the fuck open for a long time. But I'm telling you, this right here, good for Deion Sanders for doing this. So black people continue to look at themselves and wonder why we keep going in the same cycles we're going in. Yeah, there it is. I just let it out. All right, we can move on because I'm about to lose my shit. I'm so angry.
Right.
I'm so angry about the whole thing that nobody's even hitting on the point. Still, we still don't get okay. All right, I'm done. Beige, you should see my face expression. Like I could actually.
There's a couple different different
part
ways.
Of it, but
there's a couple different ways.
Chris understands me well enough to what I'm saying. Like it's just like
yeah,
I just
we'll say before a Dion only show, but there's a couple different ways.
I just don't. I don't get it. Some of it I don't get. Like I get some of the premises, then I get the other premises. Like it's either it's always got to. Oh, let me do it since I've got on the color shirt. It's always got to be black or white. It's got to be left or right. I'm so sick and tired of this shit. Like people don't understand the world is fucking gray, and this is what's gonna. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. This is exactly what's happened. See, I think he could. I think he could have ended amicably, and because of pride on everybody's side, who's going to end up losing in all this shit? Then everything that's coming out, guys, we're starting to read all this stuff that happened.
Kids.
Who's going to lose?
Them kids.
Bingo.
Them kids.
Black is going to lose. Deion's already losing from his own people. Jackson State looks horrible right now.
Yeah.
And that's the point everybody's missing. That's why I'm tired of not getting fucking paid for doing this show. I'm sick of it because nobody is saying that. We are losing. We look like shit. We have been looking like, oh, you know what? We got other topics. We continue to look like shit.
I got
I'm just sick of it.
I got you.
I'm fucking sick of it. Bays.
Yeah.
Bays, I agree. And you did say that, and I apologize because you made that point. But
He did.
let me ask you both this rhetorically. When somebody gets on 60 Minutes and already says all this shit, did we forget that? Who forgot that?
Not permission. I'm not sure what I want to say, but it does give external entities.
Bays, you can't say what you want to say because of your position and because of your job title. So I'm gonna leave it alone.
We need to get off the Bays.
Yeah,
you're right. You where you going? That's the point. I try to hold it in.
Yeah,
and it's because the four of us really want to say what it is, and I just at a point, man. I'm about to be a dad.
So
I can't not say what it is anymore. Like
for those of you who are tuned in, and for those of you who will hear this, right now you're on a podcast with a veteran of the armed forces who's currently in Poland right now. So Dre, I appreciate you. You probably take your ass to sleep here soon. You're talking to a young man who is doing great things in the academic world, and Mike Bazemore. I guess you're dealing with a somewhat high level social services professional, and you're dealing with a man who calls quote unquote who calls himself dumber than all of us, but honestly who has more common sense and went to one of the higher, finer institutions in this country. So don't think
and hashtag doesn't give a shit. I'm just tired of people's feelings, man. No, I'm telling y'all right now, man. They're going at my wife at work. They disrespecting my house. I'm just sick and tired of people. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, this is gonna be a good one.
We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. There will be a Deion show where we kind of take the gloves off a little bit. But as of right now, just in essence of time, I'm gonna throw these questions out, and then I just want somebody's honest opinion. NFL, are the Eagles going to win the Super Bowl?
No comment.
Bays? I'm asking the question. All right, we'll do it. Are the Eagles going to make it to the Super Bowl?
The Eagles are going to continue to play well every week.
Oh, you political.
We're going to continue to prepare. We're not going to overlook any team. We're going to respect our opponent and focus on the things we do well and continue to do the things that have gotten us the wins that will take us.
I hate him so much.
If that equates to us getting to
I hate
NFC Championship game and a Super Bowl, then that's a product of our earned.
I hate you so much, so much. All right, how about this? Who makes it out the AFC?
Ooh, can I go?
Go ahead.
Let's do the easy ones first. Buffalo, Miami, Kansas City, Tennessee. Those are the easy ones, right?
Right.
Let's do the hard ones. Cincinnati, Um, who am I missing? Who am I missing? Who am I missing? Who am I missing? I'll give you Baltimore. They'll find a way. And
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and do it, Baze. You're gonna hate it, but I'm doing it. I'm going back to my guns of a recorded podcast that has not been aired. The Oakland Raiders make the playoff. Excuse me,
Trash.
the Las Vegas Raiders make the playoff.
Trash.
Mark my words.
Because of that statement, I'm changing the question now. Dre. Where does all right, Lurch? Where does Odell go? What you say, Walt?
Well, I would say this, just so they know here on the video. Dre likes him to go to the Bills. I was actually reading about his visit with Jerry. It don't look like he's going to Dallas. So you better watch out. Odell Beckham might end up in Tampa or something.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Bays, what you say? I hate you. God, I hate you. Like, must you be a homer on all these goddamn just full out homer all anyway. All right. I'm done. I'm done with you, Bays. I'm mute you my damn self.
Mm.
I can agree with that.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, if Kelsey goes down, it's a wrap. Oh yeah. If something happens to Kelsey, which knock on wood, I hope nothing does. I don't wish injuries on anybody. But
Ooh, baby,
if that ain't
the team right now, they doing announcers jinx on your team so bad right now.
if Kelsey goes down, it's a wrap. All right, let's go to it. NBA. Who has a better record at the end of the season? The Nets or the Lakers?
I'm gonna say the Lakers.
Bays?
They said Nets,
Nice.
America. And
Dre, what you got?
And
Dre
Dre
got the
said
Lakers too.
Lakers.
All right. Who wins it? Who wins it all? Who takes it home this year? I got Golden State repeating.
Interesting. You know what? As much as it pains me to say this, man, we got the Milwaukee Bucks. That look, man, look, yeah. Listen. Let's just so the video viewers know when they watch the replay. Director Bazemore and Corporal or First Sergeant Molden. I don't want to mess his title up, so I'm gonna do like a variance of both. Both said Milwaukee with me, and I think I can speak on behalf of them for the video viewers as you guys listen to Spotify Live. Here's the bottom line: Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best basketball player on the planet, and it's not even close. And he has no fear of his what he doesn't do well. He has no fear of it, and we saw that. I saw a guy, and I'm telling you, it's very few times outside of last year where the wife, who loves Bay Area everything. But when we watched them play when he won that title, and that dude shot 90 some odd percent from the foul line and scored that 50, that is still to this day. And you can look it up. Could be arguably the greatest finals performance of all time. And that's coming from Team Jordan. Okay. I saw every single Michael Jordan finals game live on television. Did not miss them. And what Giannis did when they're healthy,
damn impressive.
Okay,
All right.
they still
Let
don't
me
have
throw this
Chris
at you.
Middleton.
Let me throw this at you real quick. And we're gonna skip that last topic because that's a show all by itself. So no disrespect to Kanye, but everybody's talking about your ass anyway right now. So I won't lay into you right now, but trust me, there will be a show dedicated to Kanye. So
hey, Chris, hey, let them know once again. What's my name on this the title of the show? What's it called? What's my
you're
name?
always right.
No
You're
worries.
always right. Was it?
Chicago just taking L's. We just taking L's, Baze and Dre. It's Chicago. It's been a rough stretch for the city, man.
It ain't.
Dude,
It ain't been good. It ain't been
it's
good.
not been good, man. I tell
So
you.
let me. Oh, please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Oh, please don't start that. So there was a Justin Fields comment that got made on Spotify Live. We just gonna graze right over that.
No, he's playing great by Mike Bazemore quarterback standards, so that's why they're
We're going to
we're
going to graze right over that because we're adults.
yeah.
We're adults. We're adults. So we're
We
not
are
going to
adults.
start an argument over
No,
Justin Fields being
no, it's
the
not even
greatest
it's not
quarterback in
even that.
Chicago Bears history.
Wow.
So what we're going
I'm just waiting. Oh, so should I? Do you want me to just do a give me a minute special right here?
No,
See,
no,
you know,
I
he
don't.
did it.
I want my last question. No,
He
I
did
want
it.
my last question. I want
He
my
did
last
it.
question.
I'll take Mac
my
Jones
last-
right now. I'll take Mac Jones right now. I'll take Trevor Lawrence. Mm-hmm. This goes right to
My
my Deion
last-
conversation. That's
my
all
last
worst enemies,
question.
boy. Our problem.
My last question. All right. Last question before we get into give me a minute. LeBron James, is he still feared in the NBA? Or is he now just another player?
He's always
Anybody?
I'll go first. I'll let those that are answering things the way they answer about Justin Fields do what they're gonna do. So I'm gonna tell the truth. Is LeBron James feared? No, he's not feared, but he's revered. Very similarly to the way Michael Jordan was in 2003. He was revered. He wasn't feared. So I'll answer the question the right way for everybody. But I'll let Baze, after he said some dumb shit about Justin Fields, answer as well.
Go.
Fuck's sakes.
Why? How?
Is it really? Is it that what
How?
really don't?
How do we get back to Justin? And they let their best linebacker go to the damn Ravens. Anyway, Baze, what is your take on it?
Prime years. So he's not feared, but yes, I agree with Brother Walt. He is revered. So there is nostalgia for the young players playing against him. But as you can see, when Zion was going against him, in some clips I saw, Zion was coming at him, and he was a little bit younger, a little bit quicker. LeBron James clearly recognized.
Yeah.
It's a young bull. I gotta angles because my athleticism and my
it ain't where it was.
Previous defensive quickness and ability is not there. Which is okay, LeBron. You've been in the league about 30 years.
Yeah, dude's old.
But they are not scared of him. No, they are going to, like they did with Jordan, with AI, they're going to attack him just so they can say, I played against one of the best, arguably maybe the best player, according to some individuals, not myself. And this is what I did.
Yeah.
All right. Dre, you got a take on this? Yes, sir. I won't even bring Luca into this conversation because Luca is
Luca the deal. Luca the deal.
Luca's something else.
Hey, for America, because Dre's audio is just a little bit off because of being in Poland. So America,
It's
I'm
a
gonna
damn
basically
Poland.
describe to you to what Dre said. Um, has anybody seen like old Michael Chase specials where he talks about white girls taking over Brooklyn?
Yeah.
That's basically how Dre described what LeBron James is now. He said the most scariest people on the planet are white girls because they can go into Brooklyn and look at everybody go, Brooklyn's mine now. This is mine. That's how Dre described what happened to LeBron James in our ears. He was like, Zion just came in just like, yeah, it's mine. It's mine now.
Move on, man.
Yeah, it's mine now. Brooklyn's mine now. Yeah, it used to be the hood, but now it's mine.
Out of respect for Tom, the Give Me a Minute will be held to Mr. Walton and Mr. Turner this evening. I will make sure that we get everybody else with a chance. But Mr. Walt, would you like to go first or would you like to go second? Now, mind you, I texted you earlier because my Give Me a Minute came to me in an epiphany.
Well, you got to go first before you lose it. And as
All
mad
right.
as Bays made me for 35 seconds, I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth.
All right. So, Walt, if you wouldn't mind taking a sip for me, if you don't mind. America, give me a minute. I'm going to say something that's highly controversial, but it needs to be said. And Black America has known this since the 80s. And the fact that this hasn't been talked about more is a goddamn shame. Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon is 1,000 times better than the fucking Karate Kid. And that shit needs to be known by everybody on the damn planet. Daniel LaRusso would get his ass beat by Leroy.
This thing I've ever heard.
Mr. Miyagi would get his ass clowned by Sho'nuff. Can Daniel LaRusso do anything against Sho'nuff? That crane kick shit ain't. Sho'nuff was 6'5". And you think that crane kick gonna work? Nah. Bruce Leroy worked at a pizza restaurant with his family. So he went to school, had a full-time job. He was trying to date Apollonia, Vanity 6, whoever it was. Had to learn how to dance.
It was Vanity.
I'm sorry. It was Vanity. He had to learn how to dance. He had no moves and all this. What Daniel-san do? If you look at it the right way, Daniel-san was the bad guy in that movie because Johnny was trying to get his girl back. Daniel-san, oh, man, let me take you away from all this. You don't need nobody talking to you like that. You don't need nobody on the beach trying to clown you like that. Nah, that ain't what Bruce Leroy did. Bruce Leroy went to the club where the girl ran everything like, hey, can you show me some moves? Can you show me some moves? Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon is better than any Karate Kid movie in that entire series. And that's been my minute.
That's one of the best things I've ever heard.
I
should have went first. I don't even know how to follow that, man.
It's
true, I don't even know how to follow that. I mean, fellas, is he wrong? Like, not remotely. Like Leroy Green is the baddest in Harlem, man. Like it's a proven fact. We've seen that shit.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
It would eat it up.
Let me ask you a question. You got Cobra Kai versus Sho'nuff and his boys. Who won in that fight?
Oh man, you kidding me? Sho'nuff was glowing too. He had a glow too. Like, come on.
Thank you. Johnny can't fuck with Sho'nuff.
No, man. No, that's beautiful, man. All right. Well, didn't know exactly where I was going to go. I had a lot of emotions in an hour. And Baze, it's not even a shot at you. The Deion Sanders stuff has had me fired up all day. So it had nothing to really do with that. I knew Baze was going to take that shot. He ain't shit. So, but he is the shit. But America, as I take my last look, I got a couple drippy drops.
Drip, 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 drip.
Give me a minute. Well, here we are, America. December 6th, 2022. And here we are, we stand yet another year where, what can I say? the NFL they continue to pull us back in. This to me has been one of the most entertaining, most competitive years of professional football I've ever seen. I've been amazed by it. And I've also been kind of shocked by some of the things that I've seen. So allow me to make my final declarations. And some you've already heard in division winners. So let me go ahead and play Negro Damas in honor of Paul Mooney, one of the greats of our time. I will repeat it again. The Las Vegas Raiders will be the 7th seed in the AFC. Book it. Jalen Hurts has done everything that I knew that he was going to do because Chris Turner is a witness to this. And Mike Bazemore, the reason why I didn't say anything during all that is because I already said they were going to win the Super Bowl before the football season even started. And that's in archives. I have that video. I actually had the Eagles beating the Raiders in the Super Bowl, I believe is what I had picked 4 months ago. Now, the Raiders ain't going to get there. But I had the Philadelphia Eagles winning from Jump Street based on those moves. And I had faith that Jalen Hurts was built way different than Justin Fields. You want to know how I know that, America?
Because he went to Alabama?
No, he went to Oklahoma. And I have 5 fantasy teams, and 4 of those teams have Jalen Hurts as the quarterback. That's how I know. The 5th one has Derek Carr. Kind of missed on that one, but he's been doing good lately. That is also the only league that I have a losing record. It is the team with Derek Carr as the quarterback. And when I say losing, America, I'm 2-11. It is not a good look in that league. It is not a good look in that league. But that's a conversation for a different day. Other predictions. Yet again, Josh Allen will do something incredible in the playoffs, and I just don't know if it's going to be enough. I'll leave that ambiguous. Lamar Jackson will not play another snap the rest of the year. That's my prediction. If I was Lamar Jackson, I got hurt. Time just ran out. What do I have to prove? What do I have to prove? Deshaun Watson came back and threw 2 interceptions and was trash. I ain't taking no time off. I ain't calling no massage therapist. I want my money yesterday. You better pay me. If I was Lamar Jackson, nah. Go get it done with Tyler Huntley. And let me go ahead and say this so everybody is clearly aware. I think this thing runs through Cincinnati in the AFC until further notice. It just does. And lastly, I want to congratulate Justin Fields on being the greatest single season running quarterback in the history of the league. That deserves merit. It deserves to be prideful of. And it's an amazing thing. And I'm happy for him that he's running for 1,000 yards and his team has 3 wins. Because I've seen other quarterbacks run for that and their teams at least win 6-7 games, Michael Vick, or their teams at least make the playoffs, Lamar Jackson, or their teams at least have some picks to build around them, every other NFL team ever. So, when I got guys trying to take shots at me, it just reminds me of the beautiful intelligence that this show is involved around. And it's a reason why we're probably not getting paid, because Stephen A. Smith would have to give up some of that $8 to $12 million because he'd be shut down every day by a guy with no journalism degree and a guy that didn't even play in the league. All my boys played in the league and played D1 ball, not me. The little D2 guy that obviously seems to know too much for his own good, and that's why he's broke as shit. So, America, that's been my minute. I'm going to pad myself up because this Deion Sanders conversation is going to happen in a couple days. I might lose some family members over it. I don't know. So I might as well just say some good stuff make some silly ass predictions, get called for it because this is live. I can't take it back. But I got Eagles, Bengals. That's where I'm at. It's been fun. That's been my minute.
So I want to personally thank my frat brother for calling in all the way from Poland right now.
Shout out.
I appreciate you, big homie.
Shout out to the Yellow Jackets. Shout out to the Yellow Jackets of Montana State University
of Billings.
We love you, Bays. We love you. We know it's busy season for you too, man. So we love the fact we can at least get some audio on you anytime because you can always plug in, man.
But as we always say, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Spotify Live, Spotify, Anchor, Facebook Live, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, which I got to get the password to get back on Twitter and do some stupid stuff on that too.
I think I know. Oh, wait, and Chris, one more funny thing for the fellas I know it's all bedtime for all of us, but or it's like breakfast time for Dre, whatever the hell's going on.
It's breakfast for Jay. Like Dre got to be up in like 20 minutes to go do like PT or something.
But here's the wild part. Hey, this is how you know your boy has a problem, right? So you know how you do your Spotify in the reviews?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my music was about what I thought it was going to be, but What's Good America was like my number 3 podcast. We just hadn't been doing a lot. Right. My number 2 podcast was Welcome to Our Show for New Girl. And Chris Turner, can you guess what my number 1 podcast was? I got to shout him out.
Was it something for oh my God. What's
I got to embarrass myself in front of Bays and Dre.
Damn it. I got it on the tip of my damn tongue. This stupid ass show.
Hey, don't you disrespect my show. Hey, Bays.
Oh my God.
I'm just gonna help him right now because I know we run out of time. Hey, my number 1 podcast, Drama Queens, the One Tree Hill Girls.
That's what it was.
Hey, I listened to them for like 27. Hey, I listened to them for like 20. Hey, man, shout out One Tree Hill, man. Y'all still number 1, and I was listening to y'all this morning for 15 minutes before I went to work. I gotta send that out. I gotta send that out for a tweet.
You are a Generation Z white girl. Just want to point that out. You are a mid to late 20s white woman.
Yeah, and the best part about that is I'm listening to them, and that's my show, and you still need to watch that show. But yet, I'm the only one here conscious enough to realize what's going on with Black America right now, too. Ain't that something? Now I'm done talking.
So, thank you for tuning in. Dre, stay safe in Poland. Bays, keep the NIL deals coming because I will promise you, I am going to contaminate that program from the bottom up. And hey, listen, I'm gonna SMU the shit out of y'all. Listen,
$5 at a time.
$5 at a time. Shit, whatever it takes. But with all that being said,
hey, let's go.
Oh, and then I'm gonna start a chapter of Phi Beta Sigma at Montana State University of Billings. Oh, I'm like, it's you think the little step team and cheer team y'all had was real? Wait, you just wait. But let me just hit this. The same question the same question I asked you tonight is the same question I asked you a couple of weeks ago when we was doing this show more often. And what is that question, Walt?
What's good, America?
What's good, America? What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Everything is wrong with us.